Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Time to get up and move your body.
What Dr. Umar say? Get them bones cracking.
Getting old, bones be cracking. I can relate.
Bones cracking, Paul.
It's a bone cracking Monday. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, testing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All systems go. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul be the dove, buddy the God. All of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us on this Monday, December 11th, 2023.
Man.
Final week of season 6.
Already.
Roots. It's going down. Man. All right, we're here. We made it. Text working. I can hear you. You can hear me.
Yeah.
Things going well. All right.
All right.
Shout out to the 630 crew. Let us know how the mix was this morning. Appreciate you chiming on in. Yep, as soon as I said it, she said, right on. Music was great this morning. Appreciate that very much. Beth, shout out to Beth, who's our resident. I would say the most. She listens to the radio channel the most out of everybody. So
yeah.
Number one radio person right there. Appreciate that very much. 630 crew in the house. Also, the chat's going off already. Really appreciate everybody getting up this morning early. Kimber Snipes is first to say good morning, y'all. Appreciate you very much.
Hey.
Tamika Johnson says good morning. A little sunshine. Good morning to you. Pop says happy days are here again. I'm wishing a marvelous Monday to my First Sky fam, and I'm ready to be enlightened. Oh, and love from Las Vegas.
Hey.
Appreciate you, Pops. Right
Man,
on.
a lot of things going on in Las Vegas. About to be a busy couple months coming up.
Yeah, it's starting to be the sports center of the universe.
Really?
In a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so Vegas is always changing, man. Changes more than New York changes, seems like to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's up. Can't wait to get back. Actually, I'm gonna try to get out there pretty soon and kind of see what's happening. I really haven't been anywhere in Vegas. Every time I go, it's for family, so I don't really go out and do stuff. So we'll check the dome out and see a couple things. Maybe this time we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Got a good morning from Gwen Easter. Good morning to you. Appreciate you very, very much. I see Wanda Lewis in the chat saying good morning. Appreciate you. Pop says, yep, everything is marvelous. Okay. Camera's working. Sound's working. Live's working. YouTube's on even. So
Here we go. Yeah, top of the morning. Still a little fog brain, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, a little fog brain, a little tired, boss. But we here. I'm excited though. As Paul mentioned last week of the episode or of the season, 3 episodes left, including today. Looking forward to speaking to the Senators. I think by the next time we come back, they might be in session. So, get your questions ready. If you got any bill ideas, maybe this would be a good time to put a bug in their ear before, they get ready to introduce the bills that they're going to stand on and fight for in the next session. So, yeah, a lot of things are going on.
Good idea. Good idea. How
Yeah,
you doing
man.
this morning, man? You said you fog brain. What else is going on?
A little tired, but I'm all right. If you've been kind of keeping up or paying attention, been dealing with some car issues over the last couple months. I think we're on the tail end of that. So things looking up. Looking forward to being able to move around and get some other things done. So yeah, and really just preparing for the next season, man. Paul and I kind of been working on some things behind the scenes. A few areas going into some head smoking, as we like to call it, just racking the brain, try to figure some things out, get creative, get the creative juices flowing. So yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I feel like things are building up. I feel like the momentum is building,
Yeah,
and still really floating high off of this last weekend, man. It was nice, man. It was nice, and the message of the Doctor Cornell West still ringing in my head as far as got to be a love warrior, man. It's just you know, it's a season of love.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm definitely still feeling still high after last week. Just the solidarity, like the unity that was displayed was incredible. And even though everybody who we thought might benefit from making it didn't make it, it was still like plenty of us there. That was like, man, feel solid in the fact that we got enough of us out here to really try to make the change in the direction we're trying to make it. So yeah, definitely high off of that, and can't wait to talk to Dr. Cornell West again. We've been we are working on behind the scenes a little bit on the video piece of the first interview, and then we'll be dropping that here pretty soon as well. But we talked to him, and he said that he wants to come back again, so we'll definitely have him on the show again, and keep that message of being that love warrior continued,
Mm-hmm.
especially in conjunction with like season 7, which is going to be really a lot about the way that to being an warrior, and also creating. We're
Yeah.
on this tip now of moving into this creative space in season 7, where you use your creativity and your artistry and your love to battle everything that's going on out there. That's what this is all about next.
Man, it's almost it's very interesting, man, because we started out the first season was journalism as activism, and that was kind of our mind state coming out of Freedom Summer in 2020, and really realizing like, okay, this is the time for us to really kind of put a voice to what's going on as far as the movement and the actions and the energy, and specifically in North Omaha. And now I kind of feel like it's transitioning into like a art as activism. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like it's a pivot.
Big time, big time. Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to really explore that like, next season. Really, really explore it because when you think about all the seasons, we started off speaking some truth about what went on in 2020 and the fact that we had to speak up. A lot of people was in that spirit. Felt like they had to keep speaking up, and we definitely did that. And we figured out that we really got to kind of jump on local politics the next season with the ballot of the bullet. We started to have some evergreen topics come into play after that. So we started really talking about space. Space is the places that where does the black community fit in here in Omaha? Where in even physical spaces, the real estate, housing, all these things, and we just kept going, man. Following the money, and then these two latest ones, boost to well, first of all, teamwork makes the dream work, which was last season, and that was kind of gathering people together, and then Boost to the Roots was like organizing those people, and
Hmm.
then and now, this whole artist activism is going to be the how is the what we do now that we're together and organized, the thing that we can go do in order to battle what we need to battle out here. So it's just like it really things have really fallen into place. I'm really interested, just kind of excited about the fact that we're going into season 7, into full circle, back
Yeah,
into
man.
creating in the way that we started off doing things in the first place before we got into this conversation. We're like tying together different parts of our life in order to make some change in our local, especially in our local politics and our local community.
Yeah,
That's what
man.
it's all about. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it, loving that. Like I said, pretty excited about what's happening. I'm also pretty excited about this break, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I need a little breather. I got to find the beach and get to it,
Oh,
man.
okay. Trying to get right near the beach.
I got to get right. I got to get closer than near. I got to get right on the beach,
Okay. When's the last time you had your toes in the sand, man?
man. It's probably 2020 or 2019 even. It's been a minute. I know that, and that's that. I'm not used to that.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, I used
I hear
to.
that salt water is actually pretty good for you. You know, you can
It's,
take a
it's,
dip in.
it's healing. Salt water is healing for real. So yeah, it's really interesting to kind of live in a way that I'm away from certain weather and certain environments like that. Never thought that I can be away from it so long, you know.
Hmm.
So this has been an interesting journey here in Omaha. That's for real.
Yeah,
Real.
yeah. I'm thinking California, Hawaii. I'm sure you used to be. Maybe that's why your bones cracking, Paul. Because you.
Well, there was yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on physically, and I'm quite sure that a lot of it's because of the environment that I'm in. Not just the environment, but the lifestyle too. It's a different lifestyle here in Omaha. It's definitely less active.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, outside inside half the year is very strange
Yeah,
for me. For me,
I
you
can see that. I can see that. Different environments, kind of lends itself to different activities like hiking and sightseeing and things like that.
know, we're just transportation in those areas, getting around. International cities, you do a lot of walking. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different, man. You don't, I'm in environments where the air or the heat's on all day, and not really outside as much. Like I said, inside half the year. It's just different. It's just different, and human beings can adapt to anything, but it's just
Man.
strange. It's just strange. Before the chat gets away from us, everybody's coming on in. I appreciate everybody doing that. Leah Keister gives us a happy, marvelous Monday. Appreciate
Hey.
you coming in. Stephen Abraham says that we made it through another rotation. Good morning, grand rising, everyone. Appreciate that. Kimber Snipe says, Lord knows I know about them car issues. Wishing you well, buddy. It sucks.
It definitely
Uh, we,
does.
we
It
all
definitely
know about
does.
we all know about them car issues, bro. For
Man,
real.
man. But
We all do.
especially in a city like Atlanta where everything is like 20, 30, 45 minutes away, ain't no walking up the street.
Man. Grew up in California.
Man.
Man, yeah, we all been hoopty crew, so we know what you're going through. Mark Manner in the chat said, "Good morning. We need to ask them about those Nebraska legislature clerical issues and staff turnover."
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Haven't
See?
heard about this yet. Let
Yeah.
us know.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
That's what's up. Kimber Snipe says, "This past week and even year got me overfilling that song that talks about reaping the harvest God promised me and taking back what the devil stole from me." Okay,
Okay. Okay.
it sound like you having a good year then.
Coming in with the word.
She said, "Let's do a destination beach trip with Chad Chimers." That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, meet me in Jamaica, man. Let's go.
Trying to roll out.
Let's do it. I'm with it. I'm with it. That's the kind of stuff I envision. Is summer retreats and trips and stuff like that with Chad.
Man. Yeah.
That'd be
Still
dope.
dreaming of taking the chat chimers out to Napa, doing the thing at the Blue Note.
Yep, yep. Mira Sanchez says, "If you believe we came from water, we naturally want to return." Okay,
Man.
that's what's up.
Yeah. Well, they say we're about 80% water.
Yeah, man, for real. Mira Sanchez says, "Lake Manawa." I gotta go out a little further than that. A little
Yeah, man. It's not the same. It's not the
A
same.
little further than that. Stephen Abraham says, "Random thought: the Homestead Act's birthplace is Nebraska. That newly created process gave settlers 160-acre plots. 1 acre of land in Nebraska is equivalent to almost 2 football fields." I did not know that the Homestead Act started in Nebraska. That's
It's
interesting.
interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Haven't really talked about it very much, but as we were looking for stories this morning, I was reminded about the series that the Flatwater Free Press has going on. Speaking of land, they have a multi-part series called "Who's Buying Nebraska?" If you're kind of interested in what's going on with Nebraska's land, definitely check it out. Again, talking about multinational corporations buying up land and I think they said the Mormons are coming in and buying up a lot of land. It's very interesting who's buying up land and what are they doing with it.
That's right. And we'll talk about that and more. Anything that's on your hearts and minds, of course, throw in the chat. And thank you for everybody that's been posting in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We're seeming to have straightened that out a little bit.
Yeah,
That are just,
yeah.
having making sure the good stuff gets in, the bad stuff stays out.
Man.
It's a little extra work, but we're making it happen over there. So good discussions going on, and hopefully a good discussion today. Of course, we have Senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney coming on in this morning for their last report before the season is out. This is the last week of season 6, Boots to the Roots, and today is a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio in the morning.
in the morning.
Thanks for joining us Monday, this December 11th, 2023. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road, y'all.
Hey, let's start the show.
What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again, for the recording, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Thanks for joining us on this Monday, December 11th, 2023. I'm Paul B. the Dove. Got Buddy the God over here. And then
Hey,
all of you, the chat chimers, ghost listeners, and radio listeners, welcome and thank you for joining us. Again, we have Senators Justin Wayne, Terrell McKinney as special guests on today. So stay tuned for that a little bit later. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, thank you very much. Please share the show on your page so we can get as many people talking as we can. And if you're on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe and all those good things over there as well.
yeah,
Appreciate
man.
that. Appreciate that. Brother Kasim comes in. Good morning. He says, I need some
Hey,
First Sky gear, fellas. Man, funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that. We have our logo shirt that we're getting ready to throw up on the new website, and we've been digging into putting some new merch together, man. Putting some new
yeah,
merch together, and actually, one of my ideas is to get with y'all, man. I want to do a BAA First Sky Omaha collab shirt. So
man.
we're
Heard
getting
it
back
here.
into that. Man, I went deep diving really deep last week on old companies that I had, t-shirt companies, merch stuff that I did before, all the way back to the '90s.
Hmm.
Been involved with that scene for a minute, man, and like helped come out with several lines and stuff like that over the years. And I was digging deep, just like man, done so much stuff. Just
Man, I mean,
good.
you told me some stories about like the Stussy stuff. Like, don't leave that out, man.
Dude lived on Kauai, man. You know what I'm saying? Like there was so many things, and then the one there was one out in New York. This guy that did a line called Shalom that lasted a few years. That is
Hmm.
pretty legendary. And yeah, there was just so many experiences, and not just that, but just like because I've been in design for a while too. Like I just went back to a whole bunch of designs I did, some that got made, some didn't get made. Just it was kind of a trip to go back into that world a little bit. Now that we're trying to like put something together for First Sky Omaha, we definitely have made that our strategy. One of our strategies next year to raise funds is gonna have to be through merch. It's kind of gonna be one of the best ways you can support us. Is like buying the merch. So we're making sure that the merch is right. You know what I'm saying? I'm back to looking at companies that I tested before on quality of materials and
Hmm.
quality of print and the new ways, the new kinds of print that's out there. Just it's weird how you forget about something that you did before. As soon as you jump into that world, everything starts coming back. Like, oh man, I did all this research before. I did all this stuff before. Like it all comes back like just riding a bike, man. Just
Man,
jump right back in, and we got a line coming. So yeah,
yeah.
man, let's
And
definitely.
just one of the things, man. Definitely excited about what the creative juices produces. What comes out of it. Definitely excited about that,
What do the juices produces? I like that.
man. Yeah, it just came out like that. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Okay, okay. Judy said, "Want me some merch?"
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. For those who got first Sky tees already, we appreciate you. And for those who don't, just hold tight, hold tight. We're working on it. We're working on it. I do want to give a shout out to our brother Anthony Rogers Wright and the whole Cornell West campaign, man.
yeah,
Those speaking of quality merch, man, that's a nice hoodie. That's
yeah,
a nice hoodie. It's
yeah,
soft, it's warm.
yeah.
Yes.
Quality logo, quality. They gave out some stickers too. That was a quality logo in the shape of a heart that looks like a fist. I gotta grab it real quick.
Really?
But yeah, dude, like I was really impressed by some of the designs. They actually, they totally put some work into it.
Yeah, man.
I was wondering about because we were wondering about that. We hadn't seen any like official, campaign design, until he came to town. He came to town, and now we got to see it all over shirts and posters and everything else. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting, man. I feel like this dude. They got a million stories all the time because I've been a part of so many things and done so much, and I'm so old now. You know what I'm saying? Like I I've been through several iterations of things,
Yeah.
and I'm back in this design world again, this design head again, which is one of the ways that I started. We talk about us being artists and musicians
Hmm.
and stuff, and I wasn't just a musician, but I did graphic arts and photography and all these things. I've been doing this stuff all my life. So whenever we start to venture into something, it's like I got all this knowledge about it from doing it before. Being in that world before, and it's really coming to a head. It's like season 7, 2024. It's really getting ready to be this kind of like you said, art is activism
Yeah. You like that?
coming back around. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I was tossing around some ideas about the name for season seven, and I was thinking create love and create. Throwing the word love in there over the past week of inspiration that we got on
Oh
this
yeah.
whole idea.
Love
Uh,
Supreme.
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we'll still talk about it, still working
Yeah.
around, but we kind of
Actually,
we definitely know what the idea is going to be though.
speaking of Love Supreme, I did do, kind of some research on that.
Hmm.
That was Dr. Cornell West's message, before he left, before he bounced out. And again, Love Supreme, the name of the John Coltrane album.
Hmm.
And his philosophy behind that, as I was researching, basically he was saying that Love Supreme is symbolizing the connection between his art and his faith.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely, and then his reason for action.
Right,
Uh,
exactly. Exactly.
it's a huge, believe it or not, the clothing line Supreme, that red label with the white word
Yeah,
Supreme.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That the dude who came up with that took it from Love Supreme as well, and that was his
Really?
whole philosophy about the clothing line at first. At first, it turned into something else later.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's a
that was
hype
his
beast.
right. Exactly. Yes, but that was his reason for naming it Supreme. So that when he did that, then a whole bunch of
Mm-mm.
course, everybody who loves that Supreme clothing label wanted to know the backstory on that, and he actually did a whole lot for telling everybody about how John Coltrane came up with Love Supreme and why, and so on and so forth. A lot of people in the zeitgeist got wind of what you just said because of him, because of that.
Hmm.
So yeah, really interesting, man. And it was interesting that Dr. Cornell West kept bringing it up as well because that's the theme.
Yeah,
It's
man.
the theme. It's there's a love supreme religion, bro.
I believe
whole
it.
whole religion built around love supreme. So yeah, it's a trip. Mark Manner says I want a First Sky coffee mug and record tote bag. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
I mean,
Been thinking about it. Been thinking about it.
write that down. Coffee mug,
Oh, it's
tote
already
bag.
written down, brother. Got it all. I already got that in mind already.
Okay, okay, okay.
I wish I had some of my Record tote bags. I used to own a record store back in Hawaii called the Record Store. Mark knows what
Mm.
I'm talking about. And the Record Store, I had Record Store tote bags made, and just like every other T-shirt, I only got like 2 T-shirts out of the 50 that I probably designed, and tote bags and everything else. Like I don't know why I didn't think about keeping that merch
Man.
or keeping an example of it. We were just all about getting, selling it, trying to get rid of it, but.
Everything must go.
What's going on? Got no examples of the old stuff except for the designs on the computer. Interesting. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that for sure. Stephen Abraham says Nebraska is the only state with a nonpartisan unicameral legislature promoted by Senator George Norris for its efficiency, cost effectiveness, and ability to eliminate secretive conference committee meetings common in bicameral legislatures. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing that though. Nebraska has been governed by a single house legislature since 1937.
Okay.
Haven't learned a lot about that unicameral setup, but I don't think I think they're still kind of having these little side meetings and going on script.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. It's probably better than other places, but I'm not sure.
Still happening.
Tamika Johnson says, "I'm glad I grabbed a couple of T-shirts. We Dr. West first launched his campaign under the Green Party. Oh, you got Green Party shirts?" She says, "I love the design and color of those shirts. I gotta see
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta see that.
Hey, she got the dead stock merch.
Want to resell? Want to resell? Let's see
Right,
what's up.
right, right.
Jay Carter gives us a good morning on YouTube. Good morning to you. Tamika Johnson says a big coffee mug, please. You need the extra
Okay,
coffee.
okay.
Mayor Sanchez says if you want to buy a Sam Cooke
Give me
album,
one of these.
come
One.
on, Mayor. Mayor Sanchez is over here blowing my mind, bro, with that Cherry Moon reference. Appreciate you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man. If you want to buy a Sam Cooke album, where would you go? Tamika Johnson says to the record store. See, look, this is my Chad Chimers right here. That's what I'm talking
Come
about.
on, man.
Let's
Uh,
just for everybody to know what we're talking about. Under the Cherry Moon is my favorite movie of all time. It's the second movie that Prince came out with, and he had a whole skit in there about trying to hip this white girl to the way that black people speak. And he wrote the word he wrote Rekisto on a napkin, Wreckstow, and he said, "What is this?" And of course, she couldn't know. So his clue was, if you wanted to buy a Sam Cooke album, where would you go? And then it was
to the record
obvious it
store.
was Rekisto. Yes. Anyway, I named my record store that now in Hawaii, so everybody's kind of tripping. I'm tripping on this. I'm kind of tripping the fact that anybody knows it's such an obscure, such a deep cut.
Man, you know what
I
this is, Paul?
thought Mark Manor was the only one that's gonna know.
Nah, man, this is success. This is what we're seeing is success.
Mm.
Because remember when we started First Sky, it was like, okay, let's go niche. Let's go niche.
Mm.
Buying the soul, it was a community station. We was talking to whoever could get the station in their car. It's a community station. Most of the signal actually went out west, kind of if you were north. You didn't really get the strongest signal, especially in the Florence area.
Mm-hmm.
But with this endeavor, it was like, okay, let's go niche. Let's kind of talk to the like mind. Let's just do us, and who gets it gets it. And just that having the interaction we just had having Dr. Cornell West on, like, we're finding the tribe. You know what I mean? Like it's no surprise that y'all speak our language.
Yeah,
It's a specific language, and y'all picking up what we putting down in a real way, and we love it.
I love it. I love it. Appreciate that. Yes, yeah. I'm kind of excited about just everything, what's to come. Everything that we're doing, and like, it was such a good idea to go like minded. Like we there is this place that news has to happen, which is something that we have been constantly working on and will continue to work on. We definitely
Mhm.
are building out a news desk and having a news division with what we got going on here with First Sky Omaha, because there still is not really any news from our neighborhoods. Like, we got to have black media, so that's got to happen where the news gets told in a way that is different than some of the other outlets. I can say that William King is on the tip of doing news. He's doing news in the way that he does it as well. He
Mhm.
interviews people and brings people in from the community and talks to them about what they got going on. He has a lot of political stuff going on his channel. TD Sanders, Miss Sanders has what's going on over there at the Omaha Star, which is a lot of positive news, a lot of stuff that's going on in our neighborhoods that uplifts and upbuilds and gives us inspiration. But we can have 3 or 4 other news groups and still wouldn't cover everything that needs to be covered in our community that's important in our community. And
Yeah, man.
we prove it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You guys come on here and we prove this every time about how many things need to be talked about and what things are headlines and what things aren't headlines and what things are what things are relevant to us that may not be relevant to other areas in the city. And it gets proven all the time. So we need that. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that has been in our community that not a lot of other people have been talking about is the death of Ed Poindexter in jail
Man.
this week. We have to talk about that because that's a huge deal, and we're directly connected to people who've been covering that story since the '80s, since the '70s,
Man, since it happened.
since it happened, and has been on top of things. There's people that have been, I'm thinking about people like Keatron Zykel, who's been writing about this since the '70s. I just talked to Ed Poindexter's niece because we're talking about having a celebration of life for him. So we're in touch with the family and trying to make sure that can happen.
Mhm.
She told me a whole lot of things. We talked. I talked to Preston Love a couple times. He was trying to. He was had a big effort of trying to get Brother Poindexter out of jail
Yep.
over the fact that he was sick in jail. So they wanted him to be able to live out his last years with his family, and did a big push last year for that. This has been a heavy thing in our community. Two of our Black Panther members of Omaha have been maintaining their innocence this whole time for a crime that happened back in the 70s, and they just been in jail for the last 50 years and ended up passing away in jail, and it's huge. I have seen it in the news, in the mainstream news. It's not front page news.
Nope.
For us, it would be front page news.
Definitely. Definitely.
So that's what we're here doing, and that's why we got to do it. But I will say that starting off with instead of making this a typical hard news source, but actually talking about the news and discussing it and bringing on people to discuss it with some people who agree, some people who don't, but building a team and an army and a family of like-minded individuals who will feel like they have some back because we have other people that are thinking and feeling and pushing in the same direction. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, man.
There's definitely something to be said about that. So I'm definitely glad we went this direction, and I too feel the same way that you do about it. It feels successful. So I really appreciate it. When we talk about the Chad Chimers being our co-hosts, we're not just blowing smoke. That was the whole purpose of this. And so if as a team now, as a First Guy Omaha family, can actually put boots to the roots and make some things happen, all the better. And I see that happening. I see us getting very much involved. What happened at the BAA's 4-year anniversary, with seeing all these people, all the people that came, and all the different groups, and all the places people represented, and everybody on the same accord, and understanding of the same spirit, and really understanding what's happening. Same thing with the Cornel West speech at the Highlander, packed house
Man.
of a lot of people who get it. I have felt more solidarity in this past couple weeks than I have the whole time I've been in town.
Mm.
So,
That's powerful.
yeah.
And you been in what, Omaha about 10 years now?
No, man. I came in 2010. I've been here 14 years now.
Man.
I've been here longer than I lived in Hawaii now. So, yeah. Did not think I was going to be here that long, but one thing led to another, and this is it. So, I've been here long enough. I feel like over time to kind of get a grasp on what's happening here, and also, I feel some pull to help make some change, and that takes time. You don't just move into town and a year or two later you're ready to jump on
Right.
some stuff.
Right.
It takes time.
Man, that's a few people don't get that.
Yeah. Some people. I mean, it depends on why you come to town. I didn't come to town for a job, so
That part. That
yeah.
part.
I didn't have to come here and make it work. It had to work organically for me. So
Man, hey, that's
yeah,
that's the only way to go. Organic. It's the only way to go.
there you go. Appreciate you guys in the chat still, man. I'm kind of going with the chat. It's kind of one of them days. It's a Monday, so
Yeah.
appreciate everybody who's jumping in. Mark Manners talking about Under the Cherry Moon, saying one of the most underrated movies of all time. Thank you very much.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to have
bro.
to check it out.
It's a deep cut. It's a deep cut movie, if there could be such a thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't critically acclaimed when it came out, so it was one of those ones like, oh, he just did Purple Rain, and now what is this he just did? This black and
Mm,
white, old school looking film. Yeah, so it was something else we have to do. You definitely check it out though.
okay.
Chrissy Norgis, it's a good morning, y'all. Good morning. Got
Hey.
plenty of good pictures of you with Dr. Cornell West out there. Appreciate you coming to all the stuff too. That was
Yeah.
great. Amy H. Dot gives us a good morning. What's happening, Amy H. Dot? How you doing? Brother Kasim says we love y'all, fellas. Hey
Man,
man,
love
we
you too,
love y'all
bro.
too, bro. Yes, yes. What you guys did was legendary, and man, I just it's a beautiful thing, bro. Pop says First Sky is a unique platform and it rings true in the heart. Appreciate that, Pop.
Man, thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Stephen Abraham is giving us some facts. He said, here's a fact. In July of 1970, ATF agent Thomas Sledge, an 8-year veteran of the Omaha police, claimed in an affidavit for a search warrant that a 12-year-old girl named Mary Ellis Clark saw 60 AK-47s in the NCCF headquarters at 100 and 180 sticks of dynamite. The correct spelling of her name was
Mary
Maricela.
Alice.
Mary Alice, excuse me. Sledge claimed the girl watched the 5 NCCF members make a bomb out of the dynamite. According to the girl's family, Tom Sledge never notified them that he named Mary Alice as an informant. She never told her family she saw men making bombs. 2 years later, the then 14-year-old disappeared, and in 1980 she was declared dead by her mother.
Hmm.
So here we go into the some of the deep dive of the situation that happened in the 70s that put Brother Mondo and Brother Ed Poindexter in jail. David Rice, they call Mondo, who died in 2016. This is the last time we talked about it. We were actually talking about this in the first year of Mind and Soul because he had
Mm-hmm.
just passed away.
Yep.
So both those brothers passed away. People I've talked to several people now who have so many different that have not different, but so many facts about this case that it's pretty indisputable that these brothers were innocent, and they've been claiming their innocence all this time, and have gone through several appeals, and have several people backing what was going on with them, trying to help them inside and outside of the state. Like I said, reporter Keatron Zykel has been covering this since it happened, since the 70s, and it's continued on. She's got a huge layout over at the noise.org website
Mm-hmm.
because she when she did a huge piece for Noise on this, and there's so many details we've learned over the years that just is incredible that they would not ever revisit this case to really see what was going on. But as you can see, we've been talking about Ed Poindexter still not free, even on the First Sky Omaha channel. That even here, we've been saying that we've been saying the date, December 11th, 2023. Ed Poindexter still not free.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest Jackson still not free.
Yep.
And the reason why is because we've read all of these reports and have come to the same conclusion a lot of people have, that these brothers were innocent. So the fact that they ended up dying in jail is a disgrace.
And it kind of begs the question, man. Like, yes, this was a high profile situation. Yes, this was very controversial and politically charged. Just the fact of, the political activism and the Black Panther Party and the federal government and all that. But I just wonder how many people in the nation's most overcrowded prison system, how many people are actually innocent?
It's a good question.
Like how, how many have fallen to this fate that we don't talk about, that we don't know about their story. I mean, we know about Ernest Jackson, and he wasn't a political, he was just, dude on the block, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, it was COINTELPRO and all these other FBI programs and stuff like that jacked up Ed Poindexter and David Rice. But now we're in the days where you don't even got to be a Black Panther or revolutionary in order to be
Man,
harassed and put in jail for no for not for and for it to come back and all the evidence point to innocence and still be there is
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's incredible.
Man, and furthermore, even though, rest in peace, God rest his soul, brother Ed Poindexter has passed, um, the state could still possibly be held accountable.
Yeah. The family I talked to over the last weekend said this fight is not over just
Mm-hmm.
because the brother passed. So
As
yeah,
it should not be.
right. So yeah, rest in peace, brother Ed Poindexter, and prayers to the family. Brother Kasim says we need Black media strategic planning meeting for our media outlets in North Omaha.
I'm with
Yep,
it.
yep, we most definitely do. But like I said, in the meantime, we're still just really you're doing the best we can to kind of get the word out, but also we're all about really talking about these things to people too. Like I said, with this whole idea of getting on the same page, just getting on the same page with each other about stuff
Man, I mean, that's what First Sky Omaha means.
all day. Brother Kasim says I'll aid in putting it together. Appreciate that,
Okay.
man.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, let's have that family conversation.
Most deaf. It is already. Let's see. Look at the time here. 7:40 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we will be having our special guest, brothers Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, on shortly. Maybe we should give a rundown of some of the other stories that are in the news, though. We already talked about Brother Poindexter, but we had a couple other things we definitely wanted to talk about too. What were the things on the list there, buddy?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Rest in peace, brother Ed Poindexter. If you want to read more on that story and a little context surrounding his passing, big shout out to Nebraska Examiner. They have a nice article talking about the situation. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and do so. But also, shout out to all the chat chimers letting us know about things. Definitely keep stories coming on Friends of. This is an interesting story. Apparently, there's a Douglas County commissioner who's calling out a police union social media post who they're saying went too far. And Douglas County Commissioner Marianne Borgeson says a Facebook post criticizing her has gone too far. So yeah, let's jump into this controversy going on with the police union. Also, this is something we've been meaning to talk about, but things have just been going on so much, have not been able to get into it. But definitely want to still continue to talk about the foster care situation again. Late last month, Governor Pillen put out an emotional call for Nebraskans to adopt children or become foster parents. And again, we're going to continue talking about this situation as Nebraska's child welfare system remains in shambles. And yeah, man, we have to find a solution, especially for again our state's most vulnerable children, again those in the child welfare system. So definitely going to talk about that. Interested. I would love to hear the chat chimers' thoughts about the foster care system and about this call for foster care parents. But also in some positive news, this is another thing that we're trying to get into, excited about getting into, want to tell more about, talking about STEM programs in Nebraska and specifically in North Omaha. But this is big news. Google has given about $156,000 to youth programs near its Nebraska data center. So several organizations getting some grants again for their STEM programs or STEAM, which includes art again, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Again, it's part of the future, man, and making sure our children in our communities don't get left behind. Again, if you don't know how to use a tablet, if you don't know how to use, some of the most basic forms of technology, you're cut off from jobs, you're cut off from opportunities, and cut off from a possible better future. So definitely big shout out to everybody in the community. IB Black Girl who has the coding program, doing a lot of things for our youth, and again trying to introduce them to the new frontier, man. So we'll definitely be talking about that. And then also went down over the weekend. If anybody went out to the greenhouse opening at the Highlander, definitely would love to hear your take on that. Big shout out to Channel 3. They posted an article talking about how this will be a game changer. So want to kind of look at a little more about what they plan to do. Again, we talked about how excited we are, talked about what it could mean. But yeah, we'll definitely love to hear from Nancy, who's the CEO of No More Empty Pots, who is again teaming up with 75 North to manage and to push forward this greenhouse, which has been sitting vacant for some years. So definitely excited about that. Again, if anyone was able to make it out to that grand opening, definitely let us know. And as always, if there's anything else on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard.
Yep. Jumping in the chat real quick before we get to these articles. I see Sean McCarthy in the chat. Good morning. He says, I'm guessing same sex couples were not invited to Pillen's adoption PR event. Adoption PR event. Missed that one. Have to check that one out too. Kimber Snipe says, I was watching CNN The Hill this weekend, and they were talking about the desperate need to get more people interested in STEM. And they said you can't wait for current elementary age children. Interesting. We definitely are into this subject big time because over the course of us doing stuff in with the North Side perspective, as we used to say at Mind and Soul, from all the way back to 2016, it's been coming to my attention, as a person who did not grow up in school here on the North Side, that the North Side really is known for these science and STEM programs even more than everything else. And I saw that it was a good idea. I've been talking to Buddy. Buddy's been relaying to me. You've been relaying to me information about some of the programs that you were in as
Mm-hmm.
a coming up as a young engineer and
Yeah, man.
everything that's been going on here. And we just saw an opportunity here to really highlight what's going on with STEM in North Omaha, because everywhere else North Omaha is only in the news when somebody's getting shot or something crazy is happening. So
Right.
and there's a whole lot more STEM programs than there is violence. So you know what I'm saying. So we would like to assist in North Omaha being known for some of these programs instead of only known for one thing outside of Omaha. But we also need the information for us and for our children as well, because a lot of times, even when you're in the community, you don't really know about all the programs that are there. I certainly have been eye opening, being surprised about how many programs, STEM programs, and science programs, and engineering programs are coming out of Omaha,
Mm-hmm.
coming out of North Omaha in particular. So yeah, we'll definitely need to look into that. And it's interesting that you're tying that into a national article here at CNN. The Hill this weekend says they're talking about the desperate need to get more people interested in STEM, and can't wait for current elementary age children. Yeah, so even older kids got to get into this. Everybody got to
Oh
get
yeah.
into it. Yeah, for sure. Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat. Good morning. Says Nebraska foster care system is an extension of residential school. It
Hmm.
disproportionately affects BIPOC, with an emphasis on Black and Indigenous children. Black children spent on average twice the time in foster care. Of course, this is the reason why this is such an important story, not just because for the children in general, but because, of course, children in our communities are the ones that are affected most by these things. Sherman Wells in the chat. Good morning, brother Wells. He says Tony Connors and the OPOA is completely out of pocket for using my family tragedy as a political strategy. The dirt on Marmar gives grave. Excuse me. The dirt on Marmar grave hasn't even settled yet.
Mm.
We need to get into this conversation here. Tony Connors is this is those who don't know, we're talking about the Omaha Police. What is it? The Omaha Police
Union.
Union.
Officer. The OPOA is Omaha Police Officers Association.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an article. Let's go ahead and jump into that article if you don't mind, since we're on that. And
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Brother
And I
Wells.
didn't know that, that was your family there, brother Well. So definitely condolences goes out to you and the fam. But yeah, this is sad. This is sad, and definitely agree. Out of pocket as far as just the imagery, and yeah, it is election season, so we'll see how low people go. But this is coming out of Channel 7 KETV reports that Douglas County Commissioner Marianne Borgeson is calling out a Facebook post and criticizing her for going too far. On Friday, the Omaha Police Officers Association posted side by side photos of Borgeson and October shooting victim Lamarante Swift. It reads, on the day Lamarante, alleged teen killer, was apprehended, Commissioner Borgeson quadrupled down on the lenient approach for violent youth. The post quotes Borgeson saying Douglas County is committed to providing programs and services to intervene and get our youth out of the system as quickly as possible. Borgeson said that this was unrelated to Swift's deaths. Linking me to that is very dangerous, in my opinion, and it oversteps anything political, and it's downright, again, unprofessional and unethical, she said to KETV. She went on to say, or excuse me, the Post went on to say, her shirt reads "Killing It." Grim irony, given that her approach to juvenile justice has had deadly consequences. Enough is enough. Again, the pictures referring to uh, was originally posted in 2019 on Borgeson's Facebook page. The OPO president Tony Connor said, "We had no idea where the picture came from. The whole point of the post is to draw attention to her political positions she's taken." So again, using the imagery of some tragedy happening in the community for, again, a political point. Um, Connor went on to say she supported the new juvenile justice that we opposed. One of the first things that I opposed publicly 5.5 years ago when I was first elected. I met with her. She kind of talked down to me, didn't really want to hear what I had to say. Connor said the post is purely political and not a personal attack on Borgeson. Borgeson says she wants an apology and she wants the post taken down. So not even acknowledging, the tone and the use of the young man at all.
That's a shame.
So what say you?
Yep. We will bring in our special guest waiting in the wings this morning. Maybe he's heard something about this story as well. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Senator Justin Wayne in the house.
What's up?
Good morning to
Peace,
you, brother. How
peace.
you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Got to take my son to school, so I got a hard, preschool, I guess. I got a hard 8:15 break.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Okay.
Appreciate you coming on beforehand. Then that's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Daddy duties definitely come first. So
Right, right.
yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. So I guess we'll cut straight to it since our time is limited. Have you caught wind of what we're just talking about? This
Yeah,
controversy.
I saw the article on it. I saw the Facebook post. I didn't know enough of the context. Like, I think
Mhm.
anytime you start talking about real life situations from an attorney standpoint, you prejudice the jury. If there's an ongoing investigation, you can cloud some witnesses. And as you know, police, they should know this, right? So,
Mhm.
so I think commenting on stuff like that right now is inappropriate. One, you got families grieving. I just don't believe in political using people's strategies for political purposes. and that's something I never engage in, nor do I want to. As far as an apology and all that, at the end of the day, you stepped into the into the scene of politics, and politics, unfortunately, is ugly. And we it should have no place in what happened in that article or in that posting, but it is what it is. I do think you shouldn't ignore the underlying issues around the juveniles and the issues we're having with juveniles right now, and the supposedly baby jail that we build in Douglas County, and how it was a failed idea from the beginning. I think
Hmm.
we got to figure out some solutions, but the solutions can't be just name calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate you kind of pointing to that. It's definitely disgusting how he went about the conversation, but um, the conversation does need to be had about what's going on with juvenile justice in our community. Um, and if I'm maybe correct me if, but I'm kind of getting the sense that is he saying that again, he being Connor in the post, is it alluding that Borgerson was being soft on crime? Is this kind of a
Yeah,
tough on crime kind of post?
that that's 100%. It's about
Okay.
being soft on crime. It's a delicate line of being soft on crime versus being smart on crime,
Mm,
and oftentimes those get blurred into politics. But yeah, it's about being soft on crime. But at the end of the day, you can't lock your way out of the problem, and that's the big issue. You can't just lock up 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds and think you're making the problem go away. You just hiding the problem, because when they turn 18, they're back on the street, and at the end of the day, you just creating something worse. So how do you really solve these problems? How do you really get in there and figure out what's going on with the families, going on with the kids, what's probably going on at the schools, and figure out how to wrap your arms around them and get it right.
Sherman Wells in the chat is saying before that, on November 30th, the Douglas County Sheriff used his picture as a political post. So this unfortunately. He also says, I don't care what issues they talk about. Don't use my family tragedy as a statement. Find someone else.
man, or just find another way to make your point, not even find somebody else.
Yeah. MBH Dust says Connor puts all sorts of mess on social media and gets away with it. I haven't been paying attention to him, to Tony Connor's
Right.
post. To be honest with you, we're kind of in this realm of our world, and we stay away from a lot of that. I definitely I see brother Senator McKinney over here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in as well, ladies and gentlemen. Senator McKinney in the
Man,
house. Good morning to you, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, y'all. How y'all doing?
Pretty
Oh
good,
man,
man.
all
I
is
don't
well.
know.
All is
I
well.
don't, I don't know if it sounds like you driving. You okay? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Don't get no wrecking and be like first guy made me.
Man, man.
I know a good a lawyer.
Well, good morning
Oh
to you, bro.
man.
I don't know if you were able to hear some of the things we were talking about here. Brother Wells is in the chat saying that we were featuring an article right now that's talking about some foul comments and foul use of somebody's tragedy for political gain. Have you heard anything about this subject we're talking about?
Yeah, I heard about it. It's definitely wrong. The police, OPOA, and the sheriff's office been out of line a lot this year as far as using, especially black youth, and taking advantage of what's going on in our community for political purposes. And I don't think it's right.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah,
Um,
it's unfortunate.
kind of makes me think. Of course, all of this is charging up and gearing up for election season. Are there any seats with the police that are open? Any like is the
No, I think the
sheriff's
sheriff the
office or
sheriff is a couple more years before that's back open. He just got elected in
right, right.
2020, I think. Yeah, 2022.
Hmm. Yeah. So and then of course police is there's no elections there when it comes to police. So
No
yeah.
appointment.
Man. Hmm.
Uh
Okay.
man. Well, yeah, I hope that everybody got a grasp on what's happening. Why Brother Wells is saying this has been out of line. I think we probably all feel like this has been definitely out of line. What can be done? What can be done is I'm kind of going to go ahead and jump to that so we can get on to the next subject here because I'm at a loss. First of all, Brother Wells says that did you know Marianne was in the video addressed to the police asking them to do more to find Mr. Blake? I didn't see that. Okay. Didn't see that. What is it that can be done? What aside from calling them out, which obviously they just got called out.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we do?
Can a family sue? As from a from your lawyer hat, Senator Wayne, can a family sue for this?
Yeah, there's some defamation or some things out there, but you got to figure out your injury, and that's going to be kind of what's going to be hard in that situation is what's the injury, what's
Oh
the
yeah, that's
damages.
understandable. That's understandable. Um, but my mind is going to LB 620. Kind of again continue with this conversation of how to address, um, the juvenile situation. I think we do recognize that there is something happening with our youth in the community. This is definitely not the way to go about having that conversation. But again, we do recognize that this is something that is happening. How do y'all feel about LB 620? How do we get ahead of it? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's in committee right now. The good thing about this year, it being my last year, is that's kind of an excuse not take on a whole bunch of major legislation. I would consider that major. We got LB 50 committee right now that's still meeting. We're going through data, getting data. And so, like any major changes, I think will be just hard this year. I mean, I heard they're going to push it, but I mean, I got to exec on it first, and as the chair, I get sole discretion of when I want to exec. And then if I don't exec on it, they got the only way they could do it is to do a poll motion, which requires a higher number. Well, it only requires 25 votes to get out, but this session is going to be contentious enough that I don't think I don't think that's going to be where it's going.
Okay. Okay. So that could possibly not really get too far off the ground.
Well, because this is going to be deemed an urban problem, right? Like,
Mhm.
so what is the sense for somebody from Hastings or I don't know Fort Robinson area who they don't have these issues? What's going to be the issue? Why would they take that heat this year to try to push that through? It's not been listed on the governor's agenda. I guess that could change, but if it's not listed on the governor's agenda and it's just some Omaha senators pushing it for an Omaha problem, it's a lot harder to move those kind of issues through.
And just for clarification for the audience here, could you remind us what that LB 620 is about?
So 620, I think it's a couple things, but the main thing is that it lowers the age to charge kids with felonies to 12. It may have the ankle tracking monitor on there becoming a felony. I can't remember if that's the same bill or if it's just the same introducer. Uh, and allows detention to be done by police. So what that means is you can't waive a right for detention. So right now, if a kid gets pulled over, they go to the juvenile assessment, and probation might make a determination that these kids don't need to be in the detention center, so let's put them back in the home. Well, they would have to go before a judge to be released. So what that means is you're going to have a docket call. You're going to have a hard time getting. Right now, our juvenile courts are already having a hard time dealing with the number of kids that we have in there.
Mm.
So it's just a way, in my opinion, to lock more kids up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Brother McKinney, Senator McKinney, what will you be? I know that you don't agree with what's going on here too in the fight. What is it that you're going to be doing this next session and in the future here to battle this particular bill that we're talking about?
I think the number one thing is just fighting against stuff like that and doing whatever I can to try to not let it pass. I've introduced a few bills as far as like juveniles, as far as not them their faces not being placed in the media if they're not convicted.
Mm.
Mm,
Also, how they're interrogated, trying to make sure they don't get questioned without an adult or a guardian present and stuff like that. I think we just got to figure out how to be proactive, but also do what we can to stop stuff that is always going to disproportionately harm our community.
yeah. And like we learned from you guys' visits the last few seasons, what we can do to help you is to show up when those are things that need to be fought. Go ahead and go down to legislature and stand up and speak or send in letters. So I guess what we'll just ask is that we'll be trying to keep our eye on this too, but let
Mm-hmm.
us know crucial dates and things in order to really try to help that. I think that most of the people that we talk to here, especially in the chat, are against this as well and really want to fight this. So it's something that we've all kind of gravitated to be looking at here coming up. Speaking of that, legislative session starts up January, new year. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think January 4th or 5th.
Right. So when we come back season 7, you guys are going to be in session already, and I know that you guys are probably strategizing and gearing up for that. Anything that you want to look, you can let us know on that. Anything you want to let us know about the new session coming? Any opinions you have about what's going to be the major fight there?
Mhm.
What's the filibuster going to be next year?
Well, my understanding is Senator Kauth is going to prioritize, I think that's called Safe Sports and Spaces or something. I don't know the name. It's in Education Committee
Mm,
regarding trans children playing sports and I think bathrooms.
Mm.
And so that'll start the fight at the beginning of the session on both sides. And so then we got a rules fight about rules that they're trying to change. I think to make it the minority voice, whatever minority voice that might be, to be silenced or at least harder to stop bills. We want to get to a point in Nebraska where we're comfortable passing bills, where we're comfortable taking big pieces of legislation and just ramming them through. And that's not how the process should work. It should be hard to pass a bill. It shouldn't be easy. And so we're trying to, I think, limit voices. And what I've warned them is this is going to create a bigger urban and rural divide, and
Mm.
it's going to put particularly Republicans in the urban setting in a very difficult position because there's just things that the urban need that are different than rural, and when you start limiting minority voices, they think they're just going after a few, but then they'll find out it comes back to affect them later, and then they'll be like, well, we didn't mean it to affect us, but that's what happens when you change the rules.
mm.
And that's in reference to the again the changing of um the time that those who come
Just
to testify.
tactics. No, well, some of it's time. They're trying to do some way that this is like if you have a hearing that you know is going to be controversial, you can change how things are done. And again,
Mm.
to me, that's just lazy. And that's how I felt. Like at the end of the day, yeah, this is a job that doesn't pay, doesn't do a lot of things, but you got people who drive down to tell their story. You can at least let them get 3 minutes. And I don't care if you got to be there till midnight. Give them their 3 minutes. You're like, at the end of the day, you don't know their story. Yeah, a lot of people come down and they're part of advocacy groups, and you just keep hearing the same thing over and over and over. But every once in a while, you hear somebody that you didn't think about, or their story is something that should be told and should be heard and make you think about the overall policy.
Mm.
And we shouldn't let a majority of advocacy people come down and destroy those minority voices who never get the chance to tell their story. And that's what those 3 to 5 minutes are for. And so I believe in just staying there. In fact, after one of the hearings, I think it was HHS, they limit testimony, and I told everybody who's in the hallway, if y'all got a story to tell and you want a senator to hear it, let's go to my office. And my
I
office was
remember that.
packed, and we got through everybody there. I took notes and I passed it on to HHS committee and said, they drove down here in the wintertime. The least we can do is listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stop? How do you regulate that? Stop that? How do you make it so that the regular people can speak and not all these lobbyists?
I mean, it's up to the chair. I mean, it's hard to because everybody has a First Amendment right, and so it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to figure out if you're a lobbyist. If you're getting paid right to be down there, we're gonna change your First Amendment or your client's First Amendment right, and that you really can't do that.
Right.
And then how do you limit it? Like at the end of the day, if you work for Habitat, it's a housing issue. Technically, you pay to be down there, right? Like so, it's just, in my opinion, just man, just suffer through it and get through it, and treat everybody with respect, and treat that last person at 11:59 the same respect as you do the person who came at 1:30.
I can, playing devil's advocate for a second. I can kind of understand you're not getting paid to be there in the first place. You're away from your family. The sessions don't stop when they're supposed to stop. It goes super late into the night. You're hearing stuff over and over again. I can kind of understand why they might push back and say we need to change this system setup here a little bit.
Well, but it comes down to leadership. So, like in judiciary, for the last 2 years since I've been chair, we haven't had any guns brought in open carry. And to me, it's just simple. I get on, I say, hey, look, I love the Second Amendment just as much as I love the First Amendment, but you can't hold up signs and you can't walk in here with guns because to me, those are both props, and we got rules against props. And if you're here to testify, understand that if you get up and keep saying the same thing over and over, some of these committee members are going to get up and leave. You may actually do a detriment to your side because we're tired of hearing the same thing. We are
Hmm.
humans up here. So you got to understand the human element. So do me a favor, there's a gold sheet in the back, sign your name, put your position down if you're just going to come up and repeat somebody else, because I don't want you to be the reason your side gets turned off by the committee because they're tired of hearing the same thing.
Right.
And most people logically will say, well, damn, this person just said the same 4 points in front of me. All right, let me just go check the box on the green, on the yellow or gold sheet, fill my name in. I'm in there for the record. Anybody can pull me up and show you what position I took. But we do got a couple people who love to hear themselves talk and come down. And I will tell you, nobody listens to them. So
Yeah.
if you in that advocacy role and people come down there, it's like people just tune off. They look on their phone, they check their computers, they start reading the bill, looking for something else because we done heard it 7, 8 times.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely got
Jumping.
to consider the human element. But
Yeah.
I just want to what I just heard. I just want to give you kudos on that. I'm hearing a ref. I'm I'm hearing a ref. You got to bring your whistle.
Man, I saw some chairman bring a gavel, and I looked to my my committee clerk, and I was like, I ain't got a gavel, and they was like, if you need a gavel, you ain't a true chairman. And I was like, damn. But no, I mean, I think if you just explain it to as far as the people in the human element, because everybody's human, no matter what the emotional issue is, then people are fine with it. But I just think we don't do a good job of stepping back and saying, hey, this is the community's opportunity to be heard. Our job is to listen.
Yeah. Jess Parker in the chat says, yes, I was one of those people who was turned away to testify after waiting for 8 hours. And I appreciate you for listening to all of us, especially when it wasn't even your committee.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay, got a witness.
there you go. Witness to that. Marianne Williams says the basis of our unicameral is the people are the second house.
Mm,
We don't have a Senate and House. We have a Senate and the people are the House. The people should be heard. Good,
mm.
good reminder on that. She said people at home have to listen to some senators say the same thing over and over. Oh, say the same thing over and over on the floor too. It's very true. Uh, so yeah, good reminders on that too.
Man.
This is a strange
Yeah, we got
strange thing.
senators reading Dr. Seuss.
Man.
Say what?
Yeah, you
Okay.
remember the senator
Oh,
read Dr. Seuss on the floor.
bro, that's true, bro. That's true.
Yeah, y'all can listen to the people.
What was killing me was the filibuster, bro. That was when I was like, let me go in here. No, let me go in here and let me go make a sandwich or something. I don't know. It's tough to hear, bro. It's tough. I can't imagine. That's what told me last session. Told me I can never be a senator. I couldn't. It'd be too hard for me to sit there and listen to all that, man, all day and all night. It's a tough job. It's a tough job, man. It's a tough
Yeah.
job. So I gained so much respect over the course of the year just from you and Senator McKinney and all the senators really, having to go through what they got to go through in order to make this thing happen. So,
Yeah.
but it's a great reminder that since we have a unicameral, that second house is the people.
Mm.
They do not need to be stifling what the people, the ability for the people to speak. So, agreed. It's a shorter session. Somebody said. Kimber Snipe says it's a shorter session
Yep.
too, only 60 days. Why is that? What's that all about?
So really, it was set for political reasons in our constitution. So you do a 90-day session, you in the June. You do a 60-day session. It allows you to campaign in the primary a little bit more. So
Mm.
we got a lot of 4-day weekends to stretch out the 60 days. And it allows farm back then, we passed the Constitution in Nebraska. It's a lot more farming. So you had farmers who had to travel back on the weekend. So you get 4-day weekends so they can spend a day traveling, go in their community, get in their parades, talk to their people, and then come back. So it's just a way to balance out the part time senator. We're supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, sounds good. I had another question about what was going on next season. I can't think of it. I lost it. But I will let you give you a moment too. I know that you got to go soon. This
Hmm.
is this is your last visit for the season here. We're taking a break on the 15th. We're coming back January 15th, and we'll talk in between about what changes we can make for season 7. But since this is the last visit of this season, what do you want to leave us with? What should we?
Well, today or tomorrow, Senator McKinney and I are going to be putting out a press release saying that we're supporting the city of Omaha's inland port, and we
Oh,
want to
okay.
transfer. We want to transfer funds to the inland port. It'll be a separate body. You can think of it as a mecca, or actually, you can think of it as the airport authority. It's more similar to that, where
Mm,
this public body will be overseeing the development of the 16th to the airport street area. We can get it out of the state's hands. As we talked about here multiple times, I'm just going to go ahead and say there's just a continue stalling or difficulty getting funds to North and South Omaha. And so for North Omaha, we want to get funds just to people who are dedicated to moving some projects forward. And so that'll come out today. It'll be on the city council agenda tomorrow for the first reading. The city's putting in money. The state's going to put in money, and we can finally get some development down there. On a personal note, I was not refing this weekend. I was watching my daughter play basketball, and I had the girl dad moment, the daddy moment, where you saw it click in her eyes, and she decided she was not going to be defeated, and so she ended up dropping probably about 26 points, but hit a couple
okay.
threes, started playing, and then
Oh,
the second game, she was just like, these girls ain't gonna stop me. At one point, she was dribbling down the court and kind of ran over a girl. And they called a charge, and I just was like, you know what? I ain't never seen her this angry. So just keep playing. You know what? Get four more charges because you just finally angry and you playing and you balling. So, on the ride home, I was just like, that's what you could do. Like, and so it just for me personally, it reminds me of two things. And I always look at my own life and try to figure out how to help people be a little better. Maybe I can do something. But it's like every parent wants what's best for their kids.
Mm,
yeah.
And we was talking about juvenile earlier, and at the end of the day, I want what's best for my daughter. I want her to see some clicks and make it click in her mind, and you see the excitement, and they start doing better for themselves, and they want more. Like every parent wants to. So if you start with the basis of that, let's not get into this parent bashing. They might be at a point negative in their life because they don't know what to do. So I think that's part of the problem. And that just reminded me this weekend when I watched her click and watched her start having. It's like dad ain't forcing you to be out there no more. You having fun, and I'm like every parent wants that at the basic level, right? So we should be focused on how to get the tools to the parents to make sure they can have that. And
mm,
then secondly, that inner drive these kids get when you show them something different. We were in Iowa City, and my daughter's seen a couple things, and I thought maybe I've been spoiling her too much, and she might not have that self determination and drive, but it clicked. Like I can do this. I can be determined. I can be persistent. I can control my emotions. I can play within the rules and still dominate. And to see all that happen, it's like we are missing so much in North Omaha for our youth. And
Mm,
again, I know we keep harping about the the sports, but there were like three major tournaments: one in Lawrence, one in Iowa City, and one up in Minnesota. I can tell you, we didn't have no North Omaha teams in any of the tournaments.
mm.
So just hanging around, seeing different basketball, seeing different cultures, we just missing out. But you know what? We had a whole lot of West Omaha teams, whole lot of Bellevue teams down in Lawrence, out of Iowa City, and we didn't have nothing from North Omaha. And
Wow.
then you wonder why we have juvenile problems. These kids don't have anything to do, from sports to music to whatever. We ain't preparing them, and we blaming the adults in this situation, and we taking political pot shots at each other rather than trying to solve the issue. And the issue is give these kids something to do. Let their parents had that daddy moment that I just saw and was like, man, that's it. Now you got a different bond with your kid. Y'all talking better. There ain't this tension of you wanting something maybe she don't want, and like it's just so many dynamics that we could do if we put these kids and parents in the right situations. And I just feel
man,
like we ain't giving them the right situations.
beautiful.
Love it.
Sorry for my rant, man, but
No, we
you
here for
know,
it. We here for it.
No, we appreciate that, man. That's powerful. That's legendary. And bring brother Terrell McKinney in. That's powerful, legendary, man. I fully understand what you mean by that. I fully understand what you're saying. Makes sense. And when I think about what the needs are of the neighborhoods, especially when it comes to kids and what's going on with the kids, I haven't really been a sports dude since high school, but I see the value, and even more so now, man. Even more so after talking to you brothers about it all. just what it can bring, and how, that's you probably wouldn't have had that moment in any other realm, but what she was in, but her playing ball, and what ball does when that thing kicks in and you go for it. So I really appreciate what you're talking about here, and I think that those are some of the answers that we're really looking for here. It's boots on the roots, more involvement with the kids, more coaching, stuff that the BAA is doing with the flag football team,
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
100%. And it's really Corvell, Iowa. Yeah, Corvell, Iowa, or whatever, right next side of Iowa City is where we were. But like even where we were staying, man, it was just the intentionality, the bricks that were on the like a little old market area, how the buildings were, how everything was built around this arena to make sure it was a good experience for everybody. The little bars there, like it was something there for kids to do. And I'm just like, besides downtown at the park and the luminarium, like where in North Omaha is that intentionality of doing
Mm.
something? We see it in South Omaha with their project. I mean, they're arguing over where a parking garage should go. That's how intentional they're trying to be about what they're doing. We got to have that same intentionality in North Omaha.
Man,
With the
definitely agree. 100% agree.
All right, I see. I'm about to get in trouble. It's 8:16. I got to take the little one to school.
Yeah,
right,
Daddy duty
appreciate it.
Y'all
called,
be
man.
not.
Appreciate you.
I'll be listening. I'll be listening. I ain't gonna be like Terrell and driving. You know what I'm saying? Like later.
All right,
Safe
man. Peace,
travels.
peace,
Peace.
appreciate
Peace.
it. Right on, right on. There was some powerful words, brother McKinney.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you before we get to your powerful last words of the season as well. I wanted to ask a quick question about the what did brother Wayne call it, the land uh
Oh, the inland
port,
port.
inland port, yeah. Are you part of this thing you putting together for this inland port too?
Yeah, it's something we've been talking about, and mainly we've been talking about it because we need coordination in North Omaha. We need to make sure the resources that are coming are used properly by the right people and done for our people, and not just people trying to just make a quick dollar and try to just make money. Like that's the biggest thing for me is just trying to get all these resources in a place where it's actually benefiting the community. Because I don't want to look back in a few years and saying we just wasted an opportunity to start changing our community. So it's something I support because there's a lack of like coordination, especially with the larger projects. So I think it's vital.
Okay.
Okay. So the reason why I'm asking is because I wanted to ask him this before but I knew he had to go. But maybe you can give me a picture of what the inland port end result would be. So we're hearing details on how to get the money to it. Can you give
Um,
me?
the
Mhm.
the the short answer is just it'll be an entity that like we have like an airport authority here, but instead of like an airport authority, you got an inland port authority, which cover North Omaha pretty much. Not all in North Omaha, but a good portion, especially down by the airport area up to like 16th and probably close to like 24th or something, or
Mm.
a little broader, a little further than that, maybe up to almost 30th. And the reason why it's needed is because if we're putting all these resources in this area, we have to have some coordination to make sure it all works how it's supposed to. And also the issues with DD, their lack of communication and actually caring about the community. I think we needed somewhere where they're actually their sole focus is this, not where DD is dealing with the rest of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with North Omaha, as we can see, it's not been the best process at all.
Mhm. Right. So
Um.
it's a focus. So this inland port looks like a place where like trucks will come and there's warehouse spaces and there's what does it look like? What will it look like? Is
I mean, if the airport, let's say the airport business park is done how it's supposed to be, that's the space where we've created shovel-ready land for jobs to come in around manufacturing and things like that. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, manufacturing. So warehouses Okay, just trying to get a grasp of what an inland port looks like. Amy H. Dot is asking who would appoint the body who would govern the inland port.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like we got the airport authority, like they're appointed by the mayor, but she don't. They'll have an executive director and things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So
and,
they're all appointed by the mayor.
yeah, and I'm and that's something we thought about too. That you still dealing with another entity, and
Right.
I'm I don't think there is a perfect place necessarily, but I think this, especially considering what's been happening with DED, might be the best choice we have to actually get it done how we want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand as public really, to really get out of what it is we're talking about. I mean, it's going to be have to be the BAA route of us purchasing. Like, it has to be a private situation, but as public officials, as a elected public official, we got to deal with the public structure, which at some point is going to mean some kind of entity, whether it be the city, the state, the county. Is there's to do what you're trying to do or what you have the power to do, there's no way to get out of it. So yeah, I definitely commend you for trying to find some way, even within the system, to secure some things for the community. And I'm definitely excited to see what this inland port brings. I'm kind of curious as far as what type of people can be appointed for this. Is this like community organizations? Do you have to be a elected official? Is it going to be like part? Is it kind of like the land bank where you have some city council members, some organization leaders? Like, what do you expect that makeup to be like?
We're working through what that makeup would be to try to, as far as, because I want to go back next year and make some changes to it anyway. We're
Okay.
just trying to work through what that makeup would be. But one thing you can't be is an owner of property.
You said can't.
Like,
Okay.
and why that is especially good for us is who owns the property in North Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But we've been having conversations like, okay, who should be on here, and how do we make sure it's people that are going to be community first as much as possible. So it's no final answer on that, but it's been a conversation.
And looking forward to the conversation continuing. I guess my last question on this, and then I'll kick it to you, Paul. Is timeline. What do you expect as far as the timeline of this?
I mean, the city is got it on their agenda. I think tomorrow. So once they got to pass the ordinance first, then once we go back into session, uh, we got to make some changes and hopefully get it out of committee fast and get it passed in the legislature. So, I mean, the city could establish it tomorrow,
Okay.
but we still can make the changes and some changes during the session as well.
Okay. One last question in the chat. Amy H. Dot is saying, I'm still not clear on what the end goal is. Money managing the development of the airport tech project, manufacturers, etc.
The end goal is to make sure that the money isn't wasted. Honestly, that's the number one end goal, is to make sure it's in a space where it's used according to what the vision was. Currently, the players, in my opinion, that are kind of exploring an option of managing. It's not even about the money. To me, it's more about the what is supposed to happen, like the projects. We need a business park so we could attract jobs there. So we got to make sure that we get it to a space so we can attract jobs there. So to me, that's the end goal, is to make sure it's not all lost and we can start bringing jobs back to North Omaha. And
Okay.
also, on the other hand, making sure we get the iHub established so we can start supporting and helping our entrepreneurs and small business owners.
And when you say the money being going where it's supposed to go, which money are we talking about? Coming from where?
So in 1024, there was money set aside for an airport business park
Okay.
and an
Mm-hmm.
innovation hub, as well as a multi-sport facility in that whole area, but it's not coordinated. It's like siloed in a sense right now.
Okay, that tied it together for me. I couldn't because we're now calling inland port, which is different, which is a different language than I was hearing before about from the 1024 money, being in like a business park type of deal. That's just me not connecting the dots, but I think I have it now. Anybody else have any questions in the chat? Let us know on this.
Well,
We have been talking about this business park with the sports park and everything else this whole time, so that puts it back in perspective for me.
yeah. I guess maybe maybe I could put it like this and let me know if I'm on the mark. From what I'm hearing, it kind of sounds like the inlet port will function similar to a BID almost.
Mm, yeah, you could say that in a way. Yeah,
Business Improvement District.
kind
And
of uh, an entity in charge of developing the area.
Right, right, right. And that area wouldn't just
Right.
include the airport business park, but again, you're talking about from the airport Carter Lake area all the way up to possibly close to 30th. You're saying,
Yeah.
okay? How far? What are the just trying to get a mental picture of the map? What are the north south borders? So we got the river to 30th. That's east to west. What are the north south borders?
Um, I think was it stores to not locust. I forget what it says on the map.
I
Okay,
Uh,
feel
but
like we've
kind
seen this map before.
of about that about stores to close to locust.
okay. So
Yeah.
a pretty good chunk of North Omaha, as you said.
Yep.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. I'm glad to actually glad to hear it. I kind of thought, with everything that's going on with the DED, and we're a little bit like, where's the money going and all that. If I felt like the airport park kind of got lost in the shuffle. I'm glad to hear that it's still happening and still you guys are still pushing forward, making sure that the money gets to it,
Hmm.
and so on. They're giving out money now. I guess in the beginning of the year they'll be giving out a lot of that 1024 money, and so it's good to hear that that's still in the works. Um, moving past that real quick. I know that
Hmm.
it's getting a little late in the show here. 8:26 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, uh, we as we told Senator Wayne, this is our last show of the season. Last time we were visiting with you guys of the season, we take a break on the 15th of December, then we come back on the 15th of January. We could talk in between about how we're going to structure season 7. If you guys want to continue on with us, so in the meantime, though, what can you leave us with? You got any words to leave us with as far as the end of the season is concerned, as far as the legislature session that's coming in January, what to fight for, what to push for, what you're looking for. What can you leave us with for over the break to contemplate and to act on?
I would say, going into the next year, I just think we all got to get our minds prepared for a fight. We
Hmm.
all got to get ready and realize that we're fighting an invisible war, and sometimes it's not invisible.
Mm,
Okay.
One, with our kids in the educational system and the juvenile justice system, I think they both intersected, in my opinion. When
Hmm.
you got schools in North Omaha that have under 50% of their students on track to graduate, that's a correlation to the issues in the juvenile justice system, in my opinion. So that's something we got to get ready to fight about and have real conversations about, because the answer was never building another jail. The answer has never been just locking them up. Honestly, the answer is making sure that we got the resources in the community so these families can get help, and their kids aren't running to the streets seeking alternative things to try to support themselves, or not even having the ability to just find other outlets to channel their energy.
Hmm.
So that's what we gotta get ready for. Also, just making sure, politically, it's an election year. So a lot of people that's gonna start coming, saying vote for me, and I myself am running for office. But if y'all got a question, ask me. I should be held accountable for anything, and I think we gotta have that same energy for everybody. If it's something if somebody asking for your vote, make sure you hold them accountable. And I think we got to make sure people are clear on where they stand as far as the advancement of people in North Omaha. It doesn't matter if it's a senator, a city council person, a school board member, somebody running for county commissioner, any of these offices that are up. If they don't got a North Omaha agenda and their district encompasses North Omaha, let's have a real conversation, because not until we got 1024 hadn't had any level of government ever committed to economic change in North Omaha.
Man,
And we need to have a real conversation about that. We still got issues with the criminal justice system. They're building a prison. We still need changes, all those type of things. Like, we got to get our minds ready to understand that it's not a game, and whoever you deem as they or the enemy never stop thinking on how to defeat us. And we can never get complacent about that. And that's what I would say, just get your mind right. Take some time, spend with your family, get some rest. But top of the year, be ready for a fight.
there you go. There you go.
Right on, brother. Appreciate your words. We didn't really get a chance to check in with you, man, just see how you doing personally and how the family's doing and everything else. How
I'm
you
doing good. I'm
good?
doing good, man. My voice is kind of gone. I was coaching on Saturday, so I'm cool.
Is your,
Chill.
Okay.
you get
Yeah.
any wins on Saturday? How'd it go?
Duo wise, it wasn't great, but individually, we had some kids go undefeated and win the tournament. So that's
Nice.
good. We had one of our kids get his hundredth win.
Mm,
Uh,
Wow.
so that's cool.
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's 100-0 right now. So it's dope.
Man. All right. Olympic gold medalist. Okay. We'll see. Yeah, definitely. And appreciate, just appreciate you, man. Just appreciate you being the message that you bring. Kind of had this conversation, actually yesterday, just about, people in positions and how the vanity of the position can blind. It's I just want to acknowledge the difficulty in doing what it is that you're doing, as far as one being the message that you bring, one being a true servant, because you can get in your high office on your high horse, especially as an elected official in the high hill, Capitol Hill, if you will, at your high station, but you keep it down to earth. You keep the main thing, and I'm looking forward to supporting you in your reelection campaign, man. So thank you, and I really appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you. Thank y'all for even allowing us to have this platform to kind of speak with the people every day and answer unanswered questions or provide some clarity so we can make sure that, our people are educated on what's going on in the community.
There you go.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
We'll definitely continue it if you guys want to, for sure. We're well into the future. All right, you take it easy, brother. We'll catch up with you soon then.
Yep.
Peace, peace, peace.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.
All right, man. Soldier,
Yeah, man.
leader, brother
Love
Terrell
Supreme.
McKinney. Love Supreme. That's right. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy the God. All of you Chad Chambers Ghost listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Don't you touch nothing. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Man, you guys are going off in the chat. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, man.
Lots of good comments in the chat. If you miss any parts of this show, you can go back and watch them in their entirety on Facebook and YouTube. And when you're in, go ahead and check out the chat on Facebook and YouTube. Some great chats, great comments going on. I like what Sherman Wells is saying. Brother Wells says one of the main issues with our juveniles now it is too much talking about what we should do and less action on actually doing something.
Man.
That's real. We see the solutions, man. Every time the kids got something to do, they put that focus in. We've been talking about sports a lot on that tip. Basketball for Senator Wayne's kid, and Brother Terrell McKinney said he's coached some wrestling recently. Young brother had a 100 a streak of
Man.
100 wins, and just the focus in the eyes of Senator Wayne's daughter. I just think about being able to put your energy into that as a young person, and having something to do. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Mama got
Uh,
to tell you, man, as a youngster, I definitely definitely stayed in all types of programs and activities and played all kinds of sports, man. As they say, idle time is the devil's workshop, if you will. So got to keep these young folk energized and keep them, focused. And I do want to acknowledge also another comment a little further up. I meant to speak on Maggie Miller Jenkins, saying, in my opinion, we should be talking about the systemic issues that lead our youth to the streets and intersecting with how poverty crimes are held to a higher standard than white collar crimes. The highest prison population is black people, and Nebraska has the second highest incarceration rate in the nation. And I might, want to check in at that. It might be the highest right now. Our state is highly invested in the slave labor of the prison system, regardless of age. So, we know what's in store for them if they don't have anything to do. Yeah, their energy will be put to use, but let's better direct that energy and give our young folk more to do. So that's definitely why we support the likes of Untamed, BAA, IB Black Girl, those out who are trying to again educate our youth.
some of the good ideas that are in the chat. Mayor Sanchez is talking about frisbee golf and skateboarding has the
Man,
smallest cost barrier to entry, and families can participate in both as opposed to other sports. Because there was a comment made earlier that Amy H. Dot said it's expensive to have our kids in these sport programs too.
it's true.
We
It is
definitely should
true.
be trying to figure out how we can find some money to subsidize some of those things and keep them going. Rose Review says flag football is the best sport to learn in hand-eye body coordination, least amount of injuries. Interesting flag football. I would have said basketball for that for me. Hand-eye coordination, least amount of injuries. So it's just a toss up. I think they're both. Actually played both back in school. Now I think about it, and yeah, there's definitely benefits to a few different sports. I'm thinking about that young brother that is wrestling that just won
Man,
a hundred.
100
A
and
hundred
0.
whooping a hundred tails is what in a row, bro. No,
Put him in the full Nelson.
100-0. Come on. That's what's up. Appreciate that very much. Gwen Easter says in the chat, I don't like the idea that they'll be appointed by the mayor. Yeah, it's tough. Since the mayor gatekeepers will be appointed. Yep, it's happened before for sure. Rome's Reviews also says normally port authorities have their own police and jail. So I don't
Hmm.
know if their port authority is, we're talking about an actual port authority, but now that I'm understanding what they were talking about, which is this kind of uh, industrial hub they're trying to build, it makes more
Right.
sense to me. Stuart, right? That's what I'm saying. Stuart Abraham says, speaking about fighting a war, Black Panthers entered the military as the 761st Tank Battalion. In regards to the impact the party had in the military, Captain Long proudly summed up his pride for the Black Panthers Regiment and their conduct. Not for God and country, but for me and my people, he said. This was my motivation, pure and simple, when I entered the Army.
Hmm.
Did not know the Black Panthers had a military battalion. Did not know that. I knew a lot about the Black Panthers too. Didn't know that. That's interesting.
Man. Hmm.
Yep. Mayor Sanchez says my heart goes out to all of us. I hear that. He says that exact conversation needs to be given to the youth in community so that they know what to expect and why. I hear that. Brother Kasim says UFFL flag football coming in April, ages 6 to 12. Here it is.
There
Ran
you
by
go.
BAA. So
In
get your
April. Okay, just enough team to get that first sky, time to get that first sky team in order.
yeah, sir. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. That we it's our dream to sponsor a flag football team at the BAA. We're gonna get it together at one point.
Oh yeah, in
Uh,
due time, in due
yeah,
time.
but get your kids ready, primed up for that. It's a good thing. They got more programs too than just the flag football program. They got other programs. Most
Hmm.
definitely, you want to check out. And we've been trying to talk to them about some things too. Hopefully, in 2024, we can start a little media program of the BAA as well. So, yeah, man, that's what's up. Yes, sir. First Sky Squad. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
man. Yeah, man. Shout out. Yeah. It's not just sports. Not just sports. Of course, the BAA has their survival training camp, their
Yes.
program. Also, I did. We didn't haven't really talked much about your podcast studio. I know Untamed has a podcast studio. I know BAA you announced earlier this year your new facility. So definitely want to talk about that. But Paul, if you don't mind, I'm going ahead and pivot into the Steam situation
Yeah.
because that's also something that we want to urge our youth to get into, not just sports, not just the physical activity of working the body, but working the mind as well. And we want to talk about these grants that's going out and hopefully more, be aware of these type of opportunities being available and hopefully, get more organizations and more of our community involved. Again, talking about the support from Nebraska Examiner. Shout out to Cindy Gonzalez as always.
Favorite.
Uh, again, as she reports about $156,000 in grants from global technology giant Google will go to 7 Omaha area entities that provide education and job training. Google's data center community grants program aims to support initiatives near and around its data centers across the nation. The latest awards, ranging from $10,000 to $50,000, all go to nonprofits and schools working on STEM education, efforts to bring the digital divide, sustainability initiatives, and the small business ecosystem. Those grant recipients are a Latino Center of the Midlands, so big shout out to them. Also, Whispering Roots to support STEM, nutrition, and culinary education programming for disadvantaged elementary and high school students. Also, Bellevue Public Library, Springfield Platteview Education Foundation, a Kids Can Community Center, and then also Papillion Community Foundation and Bellevue University are all the organizations that received these grants. The chief executive of one of the nonprofits said the Google grant will help build technology job skills among youth while also offering them opportunity to showcase and learn the history and contribution of local Latino pace setters. Young people will get hands-on experience with hardware and software, gain inspiration from the stories of community leaders, and explore new careers in tech. That's according to Albert Vares, who's the Latino Center of the Midlands, works with them. So again, big shout out to these organizations, and also again shout out to organizations in North Omaha who are also leading the charge in STEM, like again IB Black Girl, who has their code school. It kind of started at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation and has now grown and blossomed. So yeah, definitely love that. And any other organizations? I think Paul, you were actually talking to Brother Sundiata over the weekend about some STEM things that he was working on.
He told me about several boards that he's on that are dealing with STEM. He gave me his card. I'm definitely going to connect with him, and he's going to give me a lot of information on that. He seems to be the plug when it comes to understanding about all the programs, the STEM programs going on in North O. So that's the information person I've been looking for on that, so I can get more of a deep dive on what's going on there. So shout out to Minister what they call him, Minister Sundiata, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his name.
Let's
Put some
respect
respect
his
on
name.
his name. Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely something big that we're pushing. We're always looking at, in the era of college scholarships for gaming and things like that. I think in the chat earlier, Miss Erica Felt gave us some information about Boogie, her son, who was in a cybersecurity competition and said he did pretty well. So big shout out to Bugs getting down with the cybersecurity. Again, if you're not aware, some of the top paying jobs right now is IT side, cybersecurity, and coding. And it's a low barrier of entry. Again, anybody can kind of learn. You get into these Google programs online, and you can really start to educate yourself.
That's what's up. I wish that some of that Google money would have went to North High. I think North
Yeah,
High got some great programs going on.
man. Yeah.
But it's a combination of them knowing about it, having and applying for it. There's a lot of gaps there, but still, we on the global scene, bro. That's Google. That's a global company coming to Omaha and shelling out some dollars to try to get some minds headed in that direction.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. Appreciate that very much. Like I said, I would have liked to see more North Omaha organizations, especially North High, get some of that money. They said because they said they can go to
Schools.
educate schools too, right? Yeah,
And
yeah,
then yeah, big shout out to North High, man, as a product of North High's engineering program. From civil engineering to computer and computer programming, computer engineering. I mean, North High students, at least when I'm not sure, how it has been as of late, but when I went there, North High students, religiously competed very well, winning a lot on civil engineering programs down at UNO, robotics programs and competitions. North High students, yeah, compete and qualify very high, if not winning a lot of those competitions. So big shout out to North Omaha's or North High's engineering program and the whole engineering wing. The partnerships that they have and opportunities that's available through Kiwit and some of the other major organizations and companies in the Omaha area.
yep. We're doing a lot of work next year, 2024, season 7. We're doing a couple of documentary films from MCC. Metropolitan Community College. We got some documentary films happening. It's going to be the year of creation for us. We're going to be
Yeah,
creating a
man.
lot. Some of the shows that we're talking about creating is really focusing on STEM and STEAM, as a matter of fact, in particular. So it's science, technology, drawing a blank, science, technology,
Engineering.
engineering, arts.
Yep.
Yeah,
And math.
and math. So we're going to be really focusing on that because, and we want your help. We want your help as Chad Chimers, as Ghost listeners. My theory, the reason why I really wanted to jump into this, I got so inspired by the stories that Buddy told me about his time in North High, and the fact that there's engineers that have moved on out of the area that are in engineering now. They got their start in North High and in these different places, these different programs. And I got inspired. I was like, "Hey, let's cover this because my goal now is let's make North Omaha be known for something else besides what mainstream media wants to try to make it known for, which is all about poverty, all about violence and everything else. Is the only time you really hear what's going on, and not to turn into a situation here where we're only talking about the good stuff, but keeping the conversations about the issues and the problems that we have at the same time, bigging up what is actually going on because there's a
Right.
whole lot more. There's a whole lot more programs, a whole lot more education and stuff going in when it comes to STEM and STEAM in North Omaha than I ever imagined was coming out of an area, and it was kind of overwhelming. Like, wow, there's a lot. there's, there's a lot, and it's all kind of coming out a little bit more because of the luminarium being built. But even before that, there was a big focus on these things, and we need to help your help making sure that we make sure that North Omaha is known for this.
Yeah.
As many programs as successful people coming out of there.
Yep. Kind of got a few fellow Vikings in the chat.
I was gonna
He's
say,
up.
Marlon Harrison says, "I love North High Engineering Program. I remember my senior year, we went to Iowa State and saw their engineering program." Okay,
Yeah, man.
that's what's up, man. Miss Erica Phil says, "Yep, Boogie is in robotics and had a competition this last 3 weekends. He's in both robotics and cybersecurity though. North High School through North High School.
Yeah.
So I mean, man, North got some programs for
Yeah,
real.
man. Yeah. Shout out to North, man. It's yeah. A beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Love it. Appreciate that. Yeah. So look forward to that, and we look forward to working with all of you on that as well. Let us know anytime you see a program that's interesting or something that your kid is in particular. That's really what I'd like to know about, like the after school activities and stuff like that your children are into. Do it have anything to do with STEAM, with science, art, math, technology, engineering, all these fields? Let us know.
Yep. Yep. All about solutions, man. Trying to find solutions to what's going on in our community and what's going on in our world, man. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. And just about 12 minutes left in the show, so keeping it moving. Speaking of solutions, definitely wanted to jump into this greenhouse program that's coming out. A big shout out. I think Sister Cameron said that she made it to the grand opening that went down over the weekend. Said that they had tours and things like that. Again, big shout out to Miss Nancy Williams, CEO of No More Empty Pots, who is teaming up with 75 North to again manage and push this greenhouse forward. If you're not familiar, the greenhouse right there, located right behind Salem Baptist Church off of 30th and Lake Streets, has been pretty vacant and sitting dormant, if I will, for several years. And so it's nice to see, quite literally some life come into the greenhouse again. And this greenhouse is aimed towards leaving a huge impact in fighting the food war. Again, we're kind of talking about wars. That is another war that we've been fighting again, is a food war and the lack of access to nutritious and just good food in North Omaha. And hopefully this greenhouse will go towards that. Again, the new greenhouse is located at the Highlander. The goal of the greenhouse is to cultivate nutritious community grown food in the Highlander area. In addition, No More Empty Pots staff plan to use the space to teach people how to grow their own food. So hopefully we will, maybe see some community gardens, maybe see some backyard gardens. Going back to urban farming is the term they're using now. But I'm pretty sure if most of us kind of get to talking about it, we can remember at some point in time, grandma or aunt or somebody growing tomatoes here, growing bell peppers there.
Love them tomatoes.
Man, I always remember, like, growing up, we had a pear tree and apple trees in the backyard, and Mama God always making apple pies and things like that.
Man,
Just yeah, man. Hey, Mama God gets down.
I know
But
that.
the importance of having access to your own food, the importance of just having that connection, and hopefully this will definitely be a catalyst to bring that back. Again, CEO Nancy Williams said the greenhouse will be able to produce acres worth of food, and some of it's already ready to eat. So that's huge. She says we're doubling down on leafy greens because they have a high nutrition value. They grow quickly, and we can turn them over for production and get them out in the community faster. A 75 North staff said the partnership between the two nonprofits went a long way to making this possible. Some of the plants being grown in the greenhouse will be ready for distribution by the start of the new year. So definitely wasting no time. For more information, you can log on to No More Empty Pots website to look into that. So I'm definitely excited about that situation. Yes, big shout out to No More Empty Pots, 75 North, for that. And I do believe again there's a market that will be located under the greenhouse. So yeah, man, let's get our leafy greens. Let's eat right. When you eat right, you think right. When you think right, you do right. So
Eat to
yeah,
live.
big
Eat to
shout out.
live.
Yeah, man, yeah, yes, yeah. Shout out to the nation. But yeah, man, definitely all here for it. And also speaking of 75 North, I hear they have a new director.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we might need to look more into that. We again, for those who are at the Dr. Cornell West event that was at the Highlander, at the venue at the Highlander, and we don't really talk about enough, what's going on in the Highlander. I did see that they added on some more buildings, kind of constantly expanding that development. Definitely love to see exactly what's going on with that. A camera snipe giving us yeah, again, Commissioner Rogers' wife now runs 75 North, Miss Charlene Rogers.
Yep. So they put out a tweet. Looks like here, 75 North. We are pleased to introduce the newest chief executive officer of 75 North Revitalization Corp., Charlene Rogers, a dedicated North Omaha resident, lifelong community organizer, and passionate volunteer. Charlene is deeply committed to fostering equity and opportunity for our neighbors and partners. As a resident of North Omaha over 2 decades, Charlene has been a prominent figure and influential leader within the community. Before joining 75 North, she served nearly 2 decades as an executive with the Nebraska Methodist Health System.
Hmm.
More recently, she provided valuable consultation to organizations such as the Douglas County Health Department and Empowerment Network. Currently, she serves as an advisor on the Exarban Women's Ball Committee. Okay, so that's let's see. There's more to it. We are confident that Charlene's wealth of experience, unwavering enthusiasm, and deep community ties will further elevate 75 North's mission and advance our partnership with the Highlander community. Join us in welcoming Charlene Rogers as our new CEO as we embark on an exciting journey of growth, collaboration, and community empowerment.
There
Okay.
you go.
So
There you
she's
go.
been part of the Empowerment Network. We also know that she's the voting member of the Land Bank.
Yep.
She's the
District
voting
2.
member for District 2, right? um, and as you mentioned, the wife of Chris Rogers, County Commissioner. So, uh, interesting to hear her background, to hear where she's hooked up at. I
Mm-hmm.
guess is what to say about that, and we'll have to draw our own conclusions on what's going on there. But looks like there's some new leadership over here at 75 North. I'm not sure how much she had to do with the deal with No More Empty Pots. I believe that was the previous the person that's that she is replacing that put that deal together. But shout out to
Sister
Norm.
Sydney Franklin.
Right. So shout out to No More Empty Pots and Sidney Franklin for putting the greenhouse situation together. No More Empty Pots is an organization that has just been killing the game. They were the most impressive organization to me during the pandemic that was really
Hmm.
doing some work. Between them and Omaha Loco was really getting some food to the people when people
Man,
really needed it in a big way. So shout out to No More Empty Pots, and I'm glad to see what's going on here with the greenhouse and what's happening with 75 North. Miss Erica Fell says, speaking of greens, oh yeah, this weekend and the weekend after Christmas are the last for fresh smoked turkey, collard, and mustard greens for sale. For me, I still do chicken broth that I freeze each month. We want to definitely hook that up and listen. I know that I've been really busy, but I'm gonna get over there and get them greens from you. I'm going to, and you're gonna get them tamales as well. So it's going down still. But yeah, put that out there. Anybody else who is doing anything like that, I'm looking for. Where's the pie lady at too? They
man,
used to have a pie lady around that hook up a pecan, So anyway, yeah, definitely want to hit our community up for their specialties,
yeah.
and appreciate everybody who has done that so far, and keeping the community strong.
Reminded me of the Pudding Man. We ran into the Pudding Man at the Umar event.
Forgot about the pudding, man, bro. Salted
Uh,
caramel pudding. Do y'all remember that spot over there
the
in
itis.
Midtown that called the Itis? One of the best parts of the Itis was that pudding, man, and that brother still makes it. I'm in trouble. I'm gonna be buying it by
Yeah,
the
yeah. Shout out to the Assembly of Saints and the bistro at the Assembly of Saints.
gallon. A few little haps happening that we want to jump into in the last few minutes, or actually, we wrapped up, or we got lightning round.
That's pretty much it. It's pretty much
Okay,
it.
cool.
I mean, we still kind of have this child welfare case going, or not case, but story we haven't really talked about.
Yeah,
So I mean, I guess in short, it was alluded to in the chat earlier. Again, there was a press conference late last month. Governor Pillen made an emotional plea, calling for more children or more families to experience have experience with adopting a child, kind of sharing his own experience with the child that he adopted and the change that is made in his family. And November was actually designated as adoption month in the state of Nebraska. Again, the governor urged other Nebraskans to answer the calling, quote unquote, to adopt children or become foster parents, saying every child, no matter their circumstance, deserves a loving, safe, and caring home. Um, Again, about 331 children were adopted in Nebraska so far this year, and about 200 other children are still waiting to be adopted. That's according to the governor, including 27 children under under the age of 4. But again, a lot of conversation about what's going on with our child welfare system, still in shambles. And yeah. So a lot of
I know.
conversations to have with that. So we'll definitely be picking that up before we end this season.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's move on. We got a couple of things that we want to definitely make sure everybody's talking about. Amy H. Dot says also Flatwater's article on OHA evictions rising. We'll definitely get to that on Wednesday as well. Shout out to the organizers that are putting on the final party for the Reader in El Perico. That's coming on December 16th. Mark your calendars on that. Doors open at 6 o'clock. They'll definitely be taking donations, but there'll be no cover. They have a musical lineup, and most importantly, we're gonna be throwing a party to celebrate the run of the Reader.
Celebration.
Celebration. It's definitely big staple in the zeitgeist of Omaha, Nebraska for the last I don't know how long, 15 years, 20 years. So the fact that it is stopped is really kind of we're still feeling the effects of the fact that we do not have the Reader in El Perico anymore. The gaps are being filled slowly, but man, certainly miss this paper and all the family and the team and the squad behind it. I definitely want to celebrate them for sure. So shout out. And also just want to mention holiday lights going on at Benson Theater. It was a pretty phenomenal weekend, and we're looking forward to the last part. So next Thursday, this starts back up. It goes from Thursday to Sunday again, ends on the 17th. You want to definitely check this out if you can. I know Mayor Sanchez went down there. Let us know how the show was. But this is a show that's put together by Bridget St. Bridget and Benson Theater in collaboration. Nice, pretty good, nice little family show. You want to go check it out. And they don't just, it's not just a Christmas thing. It's a thing where they talk about all the different kinds of things that we as a people that people do at the end of the year to celebrate and to get together and family themed and so on and so forth. So definitely get your tickets. Go to bensontheater.org and check that out. And once again, we just want to give a rest in peace to Ed Poindexter.
Man.
Um, yeah, very very heavy weight. You know, after a beautiful week of having a BAA celebration, Dr. Umar come to town, Dr. Cornell West. This is very unfortunate. Dr. Cornell West actually spoke about Ed Poindexter.
Yep.
You know, because this is kind of a very well known case. And as a matter of fact, if you want more details on this, I would suggest that you check out this set of articles that Keitron Zyko put together at the Noise site. It's called "The History of Ed Poindexter and Mondo David Rice." There's a timeline you can view here on the case. A lot of evidence. Black Panther Party represents the greatest threat among black extremist groups. You know, but Hoover was going off,
Yeah.
and it talks about COINTELPRO. It talks about all the different situations that happened. There's documents. She did a really thorough situation here, and you should definitely check it out. And I'll go ahead and put that link in the chat for you to check these series of articles out. And it's pretty detailed. And then, of course, there's a video for that. And if you go on to YouTube, man, you will see video after video after video that's been made since the 70s on this subject.
Yeah.
The family said, yeah, there's plenty of documentary films and things out there that's really kind of showing the evidence, but we wouldn't mind some more because the fight's not over. And that's what the family of Ed Poindexter told me. So I think they're going to keep on going for it. Yeah, shout out Keitron Cycle in the chat. Shout out
Hey,
to you
shout
for
out,
all that
shout out.
work you've been doing, man.
Yeah.
You've been doing work on this since the 70s. So, shout out to you for all the work you're doing. We talked about maybe having you on and speaking on this a little bit. I definitely want to make sure that we let the family come on first if they decide they want to do that and speak on this on Brother Poindexter. But man, I remember the urgency, especially after Brother Rice passed away in 2016. Just the urgency, man. We gotta really try to help get Brother Poindexter out before
Man.
something happens. Then he got sick, and then everybody got really worried. But then things chimed up again, like, well, hey, he's sick. Let him come out, and spend the last days with his family, and that didn't happen either. So it's Omaha, Nebraska should be ashamed for letting them brothers die in jail like that.
Yeah.
Been in jail for 50 years, and there's evidence proving that they are innocent, and they've been claiming their innocence this whole time and having people fight for them. As a matter of fact, I heard that the Innocence Project was about to fire up on this subject too because they looked into it and saw that that he was innocent as well, and decided they were going to put their backing behind this, and they didn't get a chance to because he got sick and then passed away. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, we definitely got to keep the story going. Definitely would love to speak to the family or allow them to speak and say what they have to say. But yeah, we got to keep this fight going, hold the state accountable, and remember that Brother Ernest Jackson is still fighting the same fight, and this is that we know is a crime that wasn't even committed. Again, it was found to be self-defense. So, yeah, we got to keep fighting, y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that very much. As a matter of fact, there's a way to advocate for that too. Let me see if this is still in existence real quick. With Ernest Jackson, how to advocate. You can donate to the governor. I'm sorry, contact, don't donate to the governor. Contact the
He
governor.
has enough money.
Porky Pill ain't got enough money.
Yeah, you need to donate to us.
But you can contact the governor 402-471-2244. Call your Nebraska senator, and this is a QR code. Send Ernest some love. There's a PO box here as well. We'll go ahead and post this on Friends of First Guy Omaha, and then of course you can hashtag free Ernest Jackson. Keep this in your mind and advocate if you want to know what to do. Boost to the roots. Anything that you can do on this, call and say, hey, this is unjust. They need to let him out. And the people who have spoken, the people want this to happen in a big way. And all the evidence is there that he's an innocent man as well. So shout out to Mother Nature and everybody who's been putting work in behind trying to get this brother out. And
I gotta correct it, man. Like, this is kind of mind-boggling on this story. Like, he's not even really like guilty or innocent. There was no crime. Like, there was no crime. He's not. You know what I mean? He's innocent, but like innocence and guilt, centered around something. Actually, there was no crime. So
insane.
insanity for sure.
Appreciate you guys letting us go past our agreed 9 o'clock hour. We just had a few more things. This is our last week
Yeah.
before the end of the season, so just wanted to make sure that we get everything in and out of there. Really appreciate everybody who's joined this. This season's been pretty phenomenal, and pretty phenomenal in a whole bunch of different ways.
Yeah, man.
We are definitely working on pulling some of those things together so you can kind of see the highlights of what's going on, what happened this season. And as we gear up for season 7, we will be taking the break on December 15th, or actually Friday will be our last show
Yep.
for the end of the season. Then season 7 will start up January 15th, and we'll continue on there. There'll be some changes, but please stay in touch. Keep us in mind. Keep the conversation going over on Friends of First Sky Omaha. That's where we'll definitely keep the conversations happening, and we'll also be, like I said, be working on putting some things out for the break for you to kind of review and see what's going on as well, and some of the plans for the new stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely plug you guys in on what's happening here for season 7 coming up. But thank you very much for everybody that's joined us today, and let's go ahead and get out of here, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Yeah, I'll have to go along with Pops, giving a special thank you to the senators for all the information that they've shared with us and the access that they've given, the perspective that they helped us get as far as what's going on with our state legislature, and again being empowered to have a voice at that level and hopefully have some impact. So let's keep that going. Let's keep moving forward with that as the session, excuse me, gears up at the top of the year. And as Senator McKinney said, man, let's fight. Let's get prepared for this fight. Let's support them. Let's back them. And let's come together and make this happen, man. We all we got, but that's enough. And I'm going to keep saying it and keep reminding us until we move like it. So appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all as always for pushing us forward and helping us and supporting us and doing this. Excited about season 7, ending this season off on a good foot. So yeah, man, I'm excited. Energy is high and the love is real, man. So we appreciate y'all. We thank y'all, and let's keep moving, y'all. Let's keep it happening.
That's what's up. I just want to make sure that we also put out there that we're still looking for Mr. Levi Blake.
Yes, yes.
Shout out to Sherman Wells and Untamed for been heading this up with the family. You can hashtag where is Mr. Blake if you have any information that you want to put down there. You can also call 402-444-4123. Mr. Blake is 80 years old. He's suffering from dementia, and he's been missing since August 17th. So any assistance that you can give on this will be appreciated. What would be suggested to do is kind of go around, look in your area, look at places that people could be, and keep your eyes open. And again, make the contact 402-444-4123 with any information. And if you want to shoot some of the areas that you're walking around checking out, you can put those on your page, and then also put the hashtag where is Mr. Blake so they can kind of collect visions of all the places that we've been looking. So definitely please keep your eye open there. Also, please keep your eye open for Nina Elizabeth Harlan, who's been missing since 13th of November. She's 33 years old. She's a Native American, brown hair, brown eyes, blonde highlights. If you have any information about Nina, please contact Omaha Police Department, which I assume because they're active on this case, 402-444-4600, extension 6. Please keep your eyes open for this sister as well. And we'll keep on putting this up on Friends of First Sky Omaha for us to just keep it on top of mind. So
Yeah.
shout out. Mhm.
I do want to just give a quick update on the Levi Blake situation as well.
Sweet.
Speaking with the family, and I mean, I'm kind of technically a part of the family, but definitely speaking, with my mother-in-law, brother Sherman Wells, there will be apparently the Crime Stoppers will be launching a campaign here pretty soon, so kind of looking out for that, and I think there was possibly a reward that's coming up as well. So definitely some changes, definitely moving forward with that. And yeah, let's keep it up. Keep our eyes open and do what we can.
There you go. I'm gonna leave you with this because shout out to what we were talking about this morning with Mark Manor, Under the Cherry Moon, one of the most underrated films of all time, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted to buy a Sam Cooke album, where would you go?
Record store.
The record store. I'm gonna end with that. Everybody in the chat, I really appreciate everybody that's giving us some praise and thanks. Pop says thanks to another great show. Really want to express my thanks to the Senators for all they've done, given us this season. Excited to see what season 7 has to bring. Also that woman, Miss Erica Phelps says, as always, wonderful way to start the week. Wishing everyone a joyful and satisfying week. Drink your water, direct your dollars, and order your steps to be good to yourself. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she says, Kimber Snipes says, you should call y'all the Connect. Got all the info. We trying, we trying. We need to
Yeah.
call you the Connect. You the one with the info. So we
Right, right.
appreciate all the work that you're doing as well.
On the
And
board you on. Too many jobs, man.
five jobs, man. Appreciate all the work that you're doing, and trust me, we wouldn't be as informational on this show as we are if it wasn't for you and the information you bring, the notes you take,
Yeah.
and the information you come on here and share. So really appreciate you in particular, and everybody else, man. Appreciate all the people that have joined us today. I want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. I want to give thanks and shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And also, especially thanks to you, the chat chimers and the ghost listeners. Really appreciate everybody that joins this show.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the comments. Go check out the comments in their entirety on Facebook and YouTube. You can always go back and watch older shows, things that you've missed. You can go back and check it out and read the comments because the chat chimers really got it going on. Really appreciate everybody in the chat. And I appreciate everybody that's listening on the radio channel as well. As people that's growing over here too. So thank you for that. Radio channel you can go get to by going to firstsky.omaha.com and hit the listen button. Or if you have an Amazon Alexa, you can say, hey, Alexa, play First Sky Omaha Radio. And she will say, you are now getting down with First Sky Omaha Radio. And it goes down. Yep. All right, we're going to get out of here. In the meantime, between time, we'll catch you Wednesday. We'll have some more special guests here Wednesday and Friday, last 2 sessions of the season. So we'll look forward to it. Tell a friend, and hope to see you there. And until then, take care of yourselves. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green